This episode of Asterikast has been brought to you by BitGravity. For all your content distribution needs, visit bitgravity.com. And by Digium, the creators of Asterikast, the open source PBX. Visit them at digium.com, asterikast.org, and asterisknow.org.
I'm Mark Spencer, and this is Asterikast.
Welcome to episode 4 of Asterikast. I'm Tony.
And I'm John.
And before we get started today, we'd like to talk about our new website. Some of the new features available are the ability to stream our media instead of just downloading it. You can now stream all of our videos straight off the site before you choose to download it. This gives you the availability to look at the video and see if it has the content you'd like to download. We get this from one of our new sponsors, which is bitgravity.com. BitGravity gives you the ability to distribute all your content, whether it be audio, video, or software. Please visit them at www.bitgravity.com. Also, our new improved forums. Please visit our forums and sign up today. This gives us a chance to get more information and input back from you guys, which is very helpful to us. We do use the information you give us to decide what we talk about in our next episodes. A lot of people in our last forums we had said, please cover episode 1 again. The video and audio quality was too hard to read and understand. So instead of covering episode 1 all over again, we're redoing this in episode 4. The reason being is that Asterikast 1.4 has been released, which has quite a few different changes in it, which is worth redoing and updating to the new version. There have been some changes made. So we're going to go ahead and get started today. I'm going to pass over to John, who's going to go ahead and get it kicked off.
All right, so as you can see sitting right here, I have a Slackware 12 vanilla installation. I'm in the root directory, and the only things that I have in the root directory are my AGIs, and just an example of some extensions, and a file called ownast. Simply, these are some files that I'm going to use in this episode. It's a vanilla installation. So to get started, I'm going to CD into the user source directory so I can always keep my source on hand, because sometimes I just may want to patch my current version of Asterikast, and so I keep everything in the user source directory now, which is obviously different from the first episode. So the first thing I'm going to get is the ikseml engine to be able to use gtalk. So I get that from Google Code. And it's a pretty quick download here, and it's actually a pretty quick install as well. So now that I have the file downloaded, I'm going to go tar, and I'm going to untar the file. And I'm going to do a configure prefix of user. And this just takes a moment. We're actually going to install 6 packages total, including the Asterikast package. And this is just simply one that makes it so we can interface with gtalks. And I just typed make, M-A-K-E. I'm sorry, I went a little fast there. And this one is pretty fast. This package is important to make sure. On this vanilla Slackware installation, we have GNU-TLS installed, but you have to have GNU-TLS installed. And when I did the Slackware installation, I did a full installation, the whole 4.5 gigs. So when we're done, we type make install -strip. And what stripping does is it removes all of the library, or all of the debugging extensions. Not every application supports install -strip. Alright, so ikseml is installed. Now I'm going to get libpri from Asterikast. I'm going to get that from downloads.digium.com. And it's just like an FTP site after that. And thanks to Digium for making the -currents available, so that way I don't have to worry.
And all these links are also available on our website. If you scroll down a little bit on the right-hand side, it has Asterikast downloads. as far as we can do our best, we keep those up to date for you. So we have Asterisk available, the Asterisk add-ons, libpri, and Zaptel available.
Yep, and libpri has no configure script, so you just type make and make install, because it also does not include make install strip. So simply that much it's installed. You can do an LD config to update your library path if that makes you feel good. Then you can do we're going to go and get the Zaptel package. Zaptel. Current. This package is a little bit bigger. It contains mostly kernel modules and a few binary applications. And it does contain a configure script. The nice thing about the configure scripts in Asterisk 1.4 is they don't require a prefix, because they follow the old 1.2 standards of the locations where they put the files, which is awesome. So I did a make, and now it's going to run through and install the modules. And this just takes a moment to do this. And really, I could have, since we're doing a voice over IP only machine here, because as you can see, I'm using VirtualBox to emulate Linux, and so I don't have to have a whole machine available, and I get a really nice screen recording using GTK Record My Desktop, or just Record My Desktop with GTK Record My Desktop as a front end. So we don't have the ability to put PCI cards in this. Almost done here. So just finishing up the module build. And we can do a make install. And this will just install the modules in the correct directory. And a new feature with this is you can run make config. I'll run it just to show you what it says, even though it won't do anything on this. It'll actually detect your hardware and load it in a boot script, so that way your UDEV can correctly detect it. All right, the next package I'm going to get is Spix, and like Tony said, he's going to post these links on the website, because this is kind of a long, complicated link that I'm actually copying from the show notes.
Which will be posted on the site. We didn't do a very good job of it last 3 episodes. But from now on, we'll try to have all the show notes available. So if you miss something or don't understand what we're saying, or don't completely understand what's on the screen, you can go back to the show notes. And technically, you should be able to do all this install via the show notes alone. But all the links will be on there as well. So you'll be able to copy and paste them in.
All right, it's downloading now. And this one does have a configure script, and you are required, or you're not required, but I recommend prefix user. If you don't include prefix user, it'll default install to user local / user / local, and I usually like to try to keep those clean. In fact, on some of my installs, I've actually removed the user local directory on some of my Asterisk installs that I actually sell to clients, just so if they're trying to build an application from source, they can try to kind of follow a standard that I prefer. So I'm going to type make. And this one takes a little bit longer. There's almost a meg worth of source code in Spix. What Spix is a codec, and Spix has been known to run between 2K and I think 20 or 30K. So it can go from extremely compressed to not so much compressed. However, the extremely compressed version, you can definitely tell it's extremely compressed.
It's not a codec you'd want to use on a production server.
I mean, you want to use it on a production server, but you wouldn't want to use a super compressed version on a production server. Google Gtalk supports Spix just because of its bandwidth savings. You make install -strip.